My wife secretly swapped my sperm for her ex-boyfriend's during our IVF treatment so she could have his baby. She actually thought I would blindly pay to raise another man's child. She was dead wrong, and the judge made sure she walked away with nothing. For 2 agonizing years, we tried to have a baby. Every month was a cycle of hope and crushing disappointment. When Emma finally suggested IVF, I agreed immediately. I drained my savings to pay for it. I painted the nursery walls. I spent 3 hours building a crib. She was 5 months pregnant. Then, on a random Tuesday, I was sorting through insurance paperwork. I spotted a strange medical form. It had a sperm donor ID. It wasn't my patient number. I didn't sleep that night. I drove straight to the clinic the next morning. I asked the receptionist to check the file. She frowned at her screen. She told me the embryo wasn't mine. She said my wife authorized a donor specimen. My blood ran completely cold. I sped home and slammed the front door. Emma was sitting on the couch, already crying. Her friend at the clinic had tipped her off. She claimed she used an anonymous donor because my dad had a minor heart condition. She looked me in the eye and said she wanted better genes. I packed a bag, grabbed my cat, and walked out. But her story felt too convenient. I snuck back into the house days later while she was at an appointment. I logged into her laptop. I dug through her deleted emails. I found the messages between her and her clinic friend. Then, I found the thread with Ryan. Ryan was her college ex-boyfriend. She had reached out to him 3 years ago. They planned the whole thing. She used his sperm from an old clinic donation. She literally texted him, "Jack doesn't need to know." It wasn't about genes. She wanted her ex's baby. I needed ironclad proof to avoid being trapped for 18 years of child support. I texted Emma. I pretended I wanted to work things out. I went over to the house. She had cleaned the place perfectly. She cooked my favorite dinner. She placed fresh flowers on the table. She rushed to hug me. I didn't hug back. I kept my hand in my pocket and hit record on my phone. I asked her to explain the anonymous donor one more time. She repeated the exact same lie. I let the silence hang in the air. "So it has absolutely nothing to do with Ryan?" I asked. The color instantly drained from her face. Her eyes widened in panic. She started sobbing those dramatic, manipulative tears. She begged me to stay. She screamed that she was pregnant and had nowhere to go. I looked at her with pure disgust. "That sounds like a problem for you and Ryan to figure out." I grabbed my cat's carrier. I walked out the door and never looked back. I handed the secret recording and the emails straight to a ruthless divorce lawyer. We absolutely destroyed her in court. The judge read the emails. The judge heard the recording. He was furious. He ruled that she committed premeditated medical fraud. I kept my house. I kept my bank accounts. I was legally stripped of all paternal rights. Emma got absolutely nothing. 6 months later, someone violently pounded on my front door. I opened it. Emma, her parents, and her brother pushed their way right into my living room. Emma was holding a newborn baby. Ryan had completely ghosted her. He quit his job, deleted his social media, and vanished to avoid paying child support. Her mom screamed that I needed to step up. Her dad pointed at the baby and claimed he had my eyes. The audacity to gaslight me in my own home was insane. Her brother stepped up and shoved my shoulder. I pulled out my phone. I hit record for the second time. I stared right into the camera. I told them they had 10 seconds to get out before I called the police for trespassing and assault. Emma broke down, sobbing that she was broke and couldn't do this alone. Her dad glared at me. "This isn't what a real man would do." I just smiled at him. A real man doesn't let himself be manipulated. I shoved them out onto the porch. I slammed the heavy wooden door right in their faces. I finally had my life back.